In this video, we are going to talk about the baryons and we will try to understand the decuplet and octet structure of the baryons. Starting with the introduction of baryons, in 1964, a model known as quark model was formulated. This model proposed the existence of some fundamental particles known as quarks, and these quarks were believed to be the constituents of the nucleons present inside the nucleus. At that time, it was believed that these quarks exist in three flavors only, which are up, down, and strange, and they are labeled as U, D, and S respectively. But now we know that these quarks are having six flavors, and it was also observed that these quarks they were not present in the free state, which means they must be bound together by a strong interquark potential. Experiments were performed to verify this idea. Such an experiment was performed in 1960s, and name of the experiment was deep inelastic scattering experiment, which was just like the Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, which proved the existence of nucleus inside the atom. In the similar way, deep inelastic scattering experiment was performed in which a beam of leptons was bombarded on the nucleons at very high energies, and this experiment demonstrated that the nucleons are indeed made up of light point-like constituents which were known as partons at that time, and later on these partons were identified as quarks. And all this information about the fundamental particles was encapsulated in a beautiful framework of particle physics, which is known as Standard Model of Particle Physics, and it was developed in early 1970s. This standard model postulated that everything that we see in this universe is made up of some elementary particles which are known as quarks and leptons. And these quarks are always present in the bound states, that is, they are present in the form of baryons and mesons. Now baryons are the combination of three quarks, or they can be made by combining three antiquarks, while the mesons are formed by combination of quark and antiquark. Now let us discuss about the decuplet structure of baryons. As we already discussed, each baryon contains three quarks, and at that time three quark flavors were known, that is UDS. So if we take combinations of three quarks having three flavors, there can be 3 into 3 into 3, that is 27 possible combinations, and out of these 27 combinations 10 were found to form a decuplet structure as shown in the figure. So in the left hand side figure we are having strangeness on the y-axis and third component of isospin plotted on the x-axis. In the first row we are having the quark composition of baryons. In the first row we are having 4 members with the isospin of 3 by 2, and left side baryon member has 3 down quarks. Then we have 2 down quarks and 1 up, then 1 down quark along with 2 up quarks, and extreme right member in the first row has 3 up quarks, and corresponding baryon members are delta negative, delta 0, delta plus, and delta double plus. As we move downwards, we are going to have one down or up quark replaced with a strange quark. So in the next row we have 3 members, so it is a triplet. with isospin of 1, and quark composition is 2 down quarks with strange quark, 1 down, 1 up and 1 strange quark, and 2 up and 1 strange quark. So for each strange quark we have strangeness quantum number of -1. So this row has strangeness S equal to -1. And corresponding baryonic members are sigma negative, sigma 0 and sigma plus. In the very next row we have two members, that is it is a doublet state with a isospin of 1 by 2, and quark composition is D and 2 s quarks, U and 2 s quarks. Corresponding baryonic members are cascade negative and cascade 0. And in the very last row we are having a single member with isospin of 0, and it is having 3 strange quark and a strangeness of -3, and this baryon is omega negative. Actually this omega negative baryon was predicted on the basis of this decuplet structure before its discovery, and these numbers in the brackets are the central masses of these baryonic multiplets. So now a natural question is, what is the special about these 10 baryons? In order to understand this, we can observe the symmetry of flavor and spin part of the baryonic wave function. So if we consider purely symmetric combinations, that is the wave functions which do not change sign under the interchange of two quarks, so then possible flavor combinations are, first is when we have three similar quarks. So the three possibilities are 3 up quarks, 3 down quarks and 3 strange quarks. So three possibilities are there. Then we move to the possible combinations which have two similar quarks and one will be different quark. So possibilities can be 2 up quarks along with a down quark, and then we can have permutations of these. So it can be UDU and DUU. In order to normalize this wave function, we have a factor of 1 by root 3. In the similar way, we can form a flavor wave function containing 2 up quarks along with the third strange quark, and then permutations, that is USU and SUU, again 1 by 3 factor will be there to normalize the wave function. Accordingly, we can make other possible wave functions or states by taking two down quarks at a time along with an up and strange quark, and similarly two strange quarks along with an up and down quarks. So in total we will have 6 states. Then the third will be when we are having three different quarks. So it will be UDS and then permutations among these three quarks. So USD when we have interchanged the last two quarks, and then the last quark becomes the first quark. So you have to shift in the cyclic order, and there will be 6 possibilities. So in order to normalize the wave function, we will have a scale factor of 1 by root 6. So if we add up all these wave functions or all these combinations, we can have 10 possible combinations. So these 10 possible symmetric combinations represents the baryon decuplet members, and out of remaining 27 minus 10, that is 17 combinations, one is found to be completely antisymmetric. So this antisymmetric combination can be obtained by first considering antisymmetric wave functions of two quarks, that is UD minus du, so it will be antisymmetric under the interchange of the quarks, and then we combine with the third strange quark and the other cyclic permutations of this. So this will give uds minus dus. Then we can interchange, so first quark will be interchanged with the second and so on. So this will give uds minus dus plus dsu minus sdu plus sud minus usd. In order to normalize, since you have 6 combinations, so 1 by root 6 will be the scale factor or normalization factor. So this is the flavor wave function for the singlet antisymmetric combination. This means we will have 16 other combinations which turn out to be 2 octets having mixed symmetry. So these octets will not be purely symmetric or will not be purely antisymmetric, but they will be having mixed symmetry. In 1960s, these patterns of baryons and mesons multiplets were interpreted in the form of group theory, that is in the form of representations of special unitary group of order 3, that is SU3. And the fundamental triplet representation of SU3 group is 3, which is U, D and S. And combination of any two quarks can be understood as 3 cross 3, which is decomposed into 6 plus 3. And if we add the third quark to form the baryon, then in terms of group theory it will be equivalent to 3 cross 3 cross 3, which is 27, and it can be decomposed as 1 plus 8 plus 8 plus 10. So this 1 is the singlet antisymmetric state that we already discussed, and these two are the octets which are having mixed symmetry, and this 10 is the baryon decuplet structure which is formed by symmetric combinations of the flavor part of the wave function. So then we move towards the spin, space and color part of the wave function. We know that quarks are fermions, that is they have spin half, and these quarks in each member of the baryon decuplet are in spatially symmetric ground state, which means angular orbital quantum number is 0. And spin of these quarks, they are parallel, so which means either they will be all three spin up or they will be having spin down. So accordingly spin quantum number is 3 by 2. So from these two we can calculate the angular momentum quantum number J, which is L plus S, so it will be 3 by 2. And parity of these states is minus 1 raised to power L, so it will be minus 1 raised to power 0, which is plus 1. So this means these states will have even parity. Therefore the value of Jp can be written as 3 by 2 plus. So to conclude, we can say that baryon decuplet has a symmetric flavor, spin and spatial wave functions. Hence the total baryonic wave function of the decuplet, which is the product of flavor, spin and spatial wave function, will be symmetric. Since all the three wave functions are symmetric, so their product will be also symmetric. However, we know that baryons are fermions, hence their total wave function should be antisymmetric. Moreover, we also know that from the Pauli's exclusion principle, no two or more identical fermions or quarks in this case can exist in the same quantum state. But here in the decuplet we had delta plus plus, which was composed of 3 up quarks and all were having spin up. But according to Pauli's exclusion principle, we cannot have two or more quarks in the same state having all the quantum numbers same. So this was a clear violation of the Pauli's exclusion principle. In order to resolve this issue, the concept of quark quantum, color quantum number of quark was introduced, and it was proposed that each quark can carry 3 color quantum numbers: red, blue and green. Hence, this delta plus plus baryon consists of one red, one blue and one green quark. In this way, all the 3 quarks will be non-identical because they will be having different color charge or different color quantum number. And this concept of color quantum number or color charge in strong interactions is just equivalent to the concept of electric charge in case of electromagnetic interactions. So after having understood the decuplet structure of baryons, we will move towards the octet of baryons. It is also possible to form 3 quark baryonic states that are symmetric under simultaneous interchange of flavor and spin of any pair of quarks. So earlier we were having individual interchange of flavor and spin of quark pair, but now we will have simultaneous interchange of flavor as well as spin of any quark pair. Such states have Jp value equal to half plus, and these states form the baryon octet, and proton and neutron, they are part of this baryon octet. So this is the diagram of baryon octet. Again, on the y-axis we have strangeness, and on the x-axis we have third component of the isospin. In the top row we have neutron and proton with the quark composition of U and 2 down quarks and 2 up quarks along with 1 down quark. In the next row we are having 1 strange quark, so this means strangeness will be -1, and its members are sigma negative, sigma 0 and sigma plus with quark composition of 2ds, uds and 2us. And we have another singlet member which is lambda 0. Its quark composition is again uds. And in the third row we are having 2 strange quarks, so strangeness is -2 and members are cascade negative and cascade 0 with quark composition of d and 2s, u and 2s respectively. And these numbers in the brackets are the central mass values of these multiplets. Now we try to understand the baryon octet wave function. We start with the example of proton, which is composed of 2 up quarks and 1 down quark. So we start with the antisymmetric 2 quark flavor wave function, so it will be ud minus du, and corresponding spin wave function, which is antisymmetric, will be upspin, downspin, minus downspin and upspin. So in order to make the total wave function, we multiply these two flavor and spin wave functions. So ud multiplied with spin up, spin down will give u up, d down, and then du multiplied with up and down spin will give d up and u down. Then we multiply UD with down and up spin, so it will give D up, U down, and then du multiplied with spin down and spin up will give D down and U up. And then we multiply with U with spin up to form the 3 quark proton wave function. And we also consider the cyclic combinations. So this will give you a wave function of this type. So if you add up the terms, final wave function will be something like this. And the normalization factor in this case will be 1 by root 18, which is calculated by taking square root of sum of squares of the coefficients. So this will be the normalized wave function for the proton. We can also make the wave functions for other members of this baryonic octet in the similar way. So note that in this case we have done the simultaneous interchange of flavor and spin in order to make these cyclic combinations. So this is the difference between the baryon decuplet and the baryon octet. Thank you for your attention.